Good morning, guys. Welcome to iPunt Smart. Great buy pot yesterday. 81 Rand paid 1,695 Rand, and quite a bit of Terry coming with the stablemate, which we need to look out for the next time. But let's focus on today. It is a difficult card. Fairview grass, with most of these horses never having the grass or seeing the grass or actually having any good form on the grass. In every single race, there is nothing really that stands out. The trainer that looks like will be having a decent day is Sharon Kotson. So I have taken a banker with Sharon Kotson purely from what I'm looking for, the intent for the day. But like you see in the first race, all of these Fairview Poly, a long time since Fairview Grass, all these Kenilworth form not really very good as far as the low bats, 0 being the best bat is concerned. So as I'm looking through these, you see some of these at the bottom doesn't really look like they should be in contention by much. So what I've done in the first race is I have selected based on what I've seen from the form presented to me. Now, the first choice in the first race is Isn't It Bliss? Now, the interesting part here for me is that Greg Shane got the most out of this horse. The previous time it was backed in 5.5 to 4.5, and Greg Shane loses the ride today. And I actually think that Greg Shane is actually not even riding today. Let me just have a look if that is the case, because if that's the case, then it's that's a Gould with Greef. That's Mini and Globo with Greef. That's Globo with Greef, and Globo and Gould with Greef. Gould and Fortune, Globo, Karting, Globo and Gould, and again Gould. So that means that there is no Greg Shane today. So T Gould should be the preferred rider for Alan Greef's stable. If I look at the other major trainers today, Smith has got a Van Rensburg here, and Ramsden and Van Rensburg again. I think Ramsden and Van Rensburg is probably Smith's main players today. There's Ramsden again with Van Rensburg, and Ramsden. Ramsden and Naidu and Van Rensburg, Ramsden, Van Rensburg, and Mapanya, that's been running pretty well of late. And Van Rensburg, Jacobs, and Ramsden, Mapanya, and Van Rensburg. Okay, so looks like it's Ramsden and Van Rensburg for the Smith stable. And we do have Sharon Kotson with Ndlovu, and that is something that is the stable jockey pitched Ndlovu here. And you'll see a lot of Sharon Kotson and Makotwa. Sharon Kotson and Makotwa. There's no Sharon Kotson in this race. Then again Sharon Kotson and Makotwa. Again Sharon Kotson and Makotwa. Sharon Kotson, Makotwa. Here Makotwa and Devoy. And here there is no Sharon Kotson, and here a Makotwa again. And if I'm looking at the Makotwa ratings, 2.97 in that race, which is the average of the whole field, ranked 2.97 out of the whole field is really decent. In this race there is no Makotwa, and Kotson here a 3.11 is pretty decent as well. Here 2.23 is of course very decent. Here a 5.07 is perhaps the worst one, where Gould has the 3.97. Here Makotwa has a nice 3.27 as well. And here no Sharon Kotson. Here not a good 6.65 for Els Lass, but a lot of blanks here. So I think Sharon Kotson and Makotwa is really the best trainer for us today. But let's just go through the card. In the first race, the 1.13 on the bat figure and the 1.82 on the bat figure looks most decent. That means it isn't it Bliss and Just So Easy as my first two choices, with Q Cosas, my third choice. Q Cosas has had the one run on the grass. It was drifting a bit, and Glorvuki stays the ride, and the adjusted time 58.88. It's not as good as the 58.36 here with Isn't It Bliss, but that was Greg Shane that got that out of the horse, and that was with 57.5 kilos. So now we're on the 60 kilos, but we're back on the 1,000 meters as well, and the Q Costas has the best speed rating on the 1,000 meters, and Isn't It Bliss is pretty decent. Oh, sorry, speed rating, the best speed racing that was over the 1,200 meters. Q Costas is not a slouch, best speed rating here, but the speed rating of Isn't It Bliss was also pretty decent, and his bat figures is a little bit better. So I've gone with Isn't It Bliss, Just So Easy, and Q Cosas as my first three, and the three for me in the bipod 2, 1, and 12. In the second race, the favorite here is Full Score, Alan Greef and Ndlovu, but again the ratings is slightly different here. Here we have the pretty decent consistency over the Fairview Poly on Amazing Tune, Grant Paddock and Klaasen. Now, Hewitson got that best out of it, and Mujan, and they are statistically better probability riders. But Fortune also got a 3.65 out of him, and Weber got a 4.69 out of him. All of those on the poly though. So he does have a 14 draw, but statistically the 14 draw is actually not that bad over the 1200 Fairview grass, because it is highlighted in green, so it isn't as bad as what we thought. And it does have the best overall ranking and the highest greenie points, the highest super rule percentage, some important components here. And the last round it was drifting from 3 into 8 to 1. So all of that being said, maybe not quite ready the last time. Concerning to me is the one run on the Fairview grass was a terrible run, but that was with the Bambatha, and he did get some support, so they were expecting him to do well on the grass, and he just didn't. So I've gone with Amazing Tune as my first choice, and then the improving horse here should be Sputnik 1. He's only had the one run. He wasn't supported in the market, 20 to 25, but he did run a decent 6.84 bat. So I've gone with him as my second choice, and then I have gone with the favorite here as my third choice, Full Score. And Full Score is also an unknown on the grass. He's had the two runs. He's done pretty well, and he was heavily supported on those two runs. But that was both with Shane, and now he gets Ndlovu on board. So I don't think that is just going to happen for him. Alan Greef might be missing Greg Shane today. My fourth choice is Stellies, and Stellies has had quite an improved run on the 1200 Fairview Poly on his roster, on 3.23 on the bat, making the best bat 42 and bat 84 at 12 to 1. So he's a bit of a lurker. And then another lurker for me is this 5.47, the best 1200 grass form in this race. 5.47 bat, course, and distance. Step it up, baby. It was when not liked, I have to admit. But it also was with Carty riding, and now Stallone Naidu takes the ride. The best speed rating, the best exact distance median speed, the best median speed, and the best exact blue bat, exact course, exact distance blue bat. The percentages does look decent at 28% on exact distance median speed here for exact distance median speed, 28% for Stellies, and sorry, for Step It Up Baby, and 38% on opening betting for the favorite. So those five is the five that I would be taking in my bipod. 5, 11, 9, 1 and 14, and the same in the PA. Moving on to the third race, and here is a top rated from Sharon Kotson and Mokotwa, also a stable change, and a 43% on opening betting from 18 races, but also 44% on exotic ranking on Global Kiss, and that is at 16 to 1 and getting blinkers fitted today. 50% on form here for Wings of Fire, and 44% on T-Curve. So Wings of Fire does look decent, one of the Sharon Kotson runners today. It coming from Durban, making its debut on the Eastern Cape. But what was interesting for me is his gravel poly form of 933 is a little bit better than the grass form. Maybe that's because he was improving, and that's also his third run, but he did get a lot of support on that run. And I was with Warren Kennedy riding, so Wings of Fire does look like the right one for me here. The second choice, Global Cass, has 55 kilos on the back and did run a much improved race when the tongue tie was not fitted over the 1600 Fairview poly. Now the 2200 seemed a little bit too far, or the tongue tie didn't work because he went from a 7 bat to a 13 bat. But if you go back to the 21st of December run, with Jacobs was also the rider, that was when he got that 7.31 bat, which was his best bat over the 1600, and I think based on that run he must have a chance at 16 to 1. My third choice is Modakar, and he's been pretty consistent, second, third, fifth, second, second, but also he had a second over the 1000-meter Fairview when there was some support from 20 into 13, but Naidu takes the ride for the first time today. The best exact distance, median speed. So Wings of Fire, Global Cass and Modakar is my first three here, and I've gone 11, 7, 1 and also the 2 in my fourth choice here, Little Drummer Boy. Now, Little Drummer Boy is also supported 2.5, Montana Turner and Larina, and has the best exact course, exact distance, 1600 Fairview blue bat of 8.55, which is quite a few lengths worse than the top ones here, but it is the best on the grass. Then Homer Fidget, this Julius Mapanya has been riding really well. He takes the 1.5 kilos of the back, and the last run was a grade 2.5 on the back, but that was also on the Fairview poly. So bit of an interesting race, bit of an open race in this one, and therefore I have gone 11, 7, 1, 2 for my bipod with the 6 in the bigger bipod. And then I've gone further and also added the 8 and the 10 in my pick 6. The 8 being Carling. Carling needs to improve a little bit, but he did get a little bit of support. 5.5, drifted out, 3, backed in, 4, drifted out. So he might be a little bit better and on the improve still, but he's a little bit of a long shot with Global riding today. And then the number 10 is my next best and also in the PA, Moonsail. Now, Moonsail is a Smith van Rensburg combination that put the blinkers on, best median speed as well, so also could be improving over the 1600, which is trying for today for the first time. Bit of a tricky race to get through. In the fourth race, we do have another quite a tricky race, and here Greef and Globo is the favorite, but the rating suggests that Cerelia with Greef and Gould is a little bit better suited here. So Cerelia my first choice and Shine a Light my second choice. If you look at the overall ranking, 47% on Greeny Points, which is Cerelia, which does look, but the P-Stats is the best there. Also 50% on Total T-Curve, again Cerelia. And then we have Shine a Light here on 33% on BAT 42. So those two are my first two, 3 and 11. But since there's no Greg Shane today, I'm not quite convinced that that's enough. So I've looked further. I've gone Elusive Jade with Tara Lang and Kendall Mini here. That does have the best adjusted time and very close on the bat 42s. And then cybersecurity, my Sharon Kotzer and Makotwa combination today, 33% on stat form, 25% on intent, and has some hidden bat form over the green, same course and same distance. So, and then Alaskan Fate, Smith and van Rensburg combination, also very close on the bat figures with a 4 and the best blue bat, exact course, exact distance bat. So 3, 11, 5, 2, and 7. I'm hoping that's going to be enough for the pick 6. If you want to go further than that, then my next best is Grenadella and Abia, the Smith stablemate, which also is not too far off after he gets it 2.5 kilos from Ramzan. And then Dancing Girl, the next best. So, like I said, not really easy today. In the fifth, I'm taking a chance to say Fly My Flag is my best, but it's between Fly My Flag and the next race, Moon Game. Sharon Kotzen and Makotwa, based on the betting, he looks pretty decent, but I have questions again for Fly My Flag since the Fairview polyform is all we have to go by, and the one Fairview grass run wasn't all that great, although it was as debut on Eastern Cape Nurseries. So a horse that runs on debut Eastern Cape Nurseries should be decent enough. He did have the Alamites on that day, which was his worst run of a 26.63 bat. And then he went without Alamites. He improved a lot. Then he went with Alamites in front only. And he also did very well and won and won and won. 3 times in a row he won. And then these were all very decent races that he competed in. Question mark, is the grass going to be suited for him? Another question mark. Was it the right move to take the Alamites on, since his only Alamites run was a very bad bat? So that's the 2 question marks I have, but he has been improving quite a lot, and I am hoping that Fly My Flag is the correct banker in my bipot and in my PA. If I'm looking at the bat curve, which is a consistency reward, he does have 12 lengths on the second best, which is Philos, and then the Highwayman also 12 lengths in the next best. So I think if you want to take a chance, it's either Fly My Flag or Moon Game in the race in the next. So Fly My Flag here is my first choice. My second choice is Gref and Ndlovu. Got quite a bit of support, 3.5 to 3.25 on the last run. Was a good bat, 3.18. But another runner where the Fairview grass form was only a 19.68. So as you can see, I have a lot of question marks on the Fairview grass form today. My third choice for today on this race is Philos, the other Alan Gref and Teague Gould runner. And my fourth is Beethoven. Beethoven has quite a bit of consistency, and he has also not got the greatest bat figures on the grass. So you see my problem here. Every single race I don't have good grass form, and in a lot of cases I don't even have any grass form. So it's a bit of a conundrum, a bit of an unknown, and anything can really happen. Even something like Seville. If you look at Seville here with Fortune taking the ride, the Flames suggest that they are good together. 50% win place combination for the jockey trainer at 20 to 1, and the last bat figure 0.24 was the best on the 42 and the 84 days for bat purposes. You can see Ndlovu was riding it. Now Fortune takes the ride, and Ndlovu suggestively decided to go on Duke of Cards rather. So yeah, Shadley Fortune has ridden Duke of Cards and ran third on it. So even Seville could be in the year on this race. So I have to take a chance somewhere. And this is the fifth race. So I've gone 264 in my small pick 6. And I added the 5 and the 8. Seville and Beethoven in my bigger perm. So Fly My Flag and Duke of Cards and Philos in the small perm and Beethoven and Seville in the bigger perm. I've taken a chance, admittedly, for the bipod to just bank a fly my flag in the bipod and in the PA because the perm was getting a little bit too big, and yesterday our perm was only 81 Rand, paid 1,695 Rand. Today our perm is 1,200 Rand on the bipod and 1,500 Rand on the bigger one. The sixth race, last leg of the bipod, has again got a Sharon Kotzen and Mokotwa combination as a greenie at a nice price, currently at 10 to 1. This is the only greenie for the day, 47% chance to win on greenie points and 50% chance on T-curve. So it does look pretty good on the probability stats. Even a top 4, 75% chance to win, currently at even money for a top 4. So Moon Game does look pretty decent on the ratings, to suggest that his one previous run with the 8.34 here and a 22.76 was absolutely no good. But he does get Mokotwa back again. You can see Mokotwa as a first, a second, and a second, and a fourth, and a third, and another fourth on him. Last time he was backed in from 5.5 to 2.75, suggesting they were ready to win with it, and he only ran fourth. So Moon Game is my first choice. With my second choice, Thomas Tucker. Now, Thomas Tucker has some really good form, but also on the poly. If you look at his Fairview grass form at 24.35, but the poly 4s, 8s, 12s, 7s, and he won his last two races. So 400, 1400 does suit him. He came second on the grass as well. So he's a legitimate favourite as well. He should have a decent run himself. But the rating suggests it's Moon Game by Thomas Tucker by Turn It Up Harvey. Now, Turn It Up Harvey has some decent 6.67 year previously as well, but he only just won his maiden plate year, and after that the merit rate at 68, he did pretty well as well, finishing third. So those are my first three, with Bold Dreamer my next best, also on his consistency in the last bit, 2, 3 and 3 bats with the best median speed and the best super rule percentage. It looks like he's been improving a little bit of late, and Carty retains the ride. So in this race, my last leg of the bipod, I've got 1118 with the 2 as the backup in the bigger perm, and also in the PA the same, and I've only won those 4 in my pick 6. If you want to go further, Capernaum is my next best, all the 7s in 6th, then Parahandy and Exion, the 2 Lang runners. Race 7, Sugar Gum is my top choice here, Ramsden and Alan Greef and T. Gould my second choice. If I look at the bats here, these 2 is quite a bit ahead of the rest of the pack, and I've gone only 2 and 7 in my PA, and I've added the 4 in my pick 6, which is Via Sacra. Via Sacra is got a bit of a change here on Alamites and Zitz Oosthuizen. So he pops up Umbra as my 4th choice, Microbe as my 5th choice, and Victoria Tower and Travel in Style 6 and 7, with Sloan in 8th. Bit of a question mark on Sloan as well, because he's coming for improvement, but I quite like Sugar Gum. I think he's very consistent, first, second, first, 9, first. He's actually got the only horse that's actually done well on grass, one on grass for the whole field today, comes in this race with Sugar Gum and Delicatesia. So those are my 2 in the PA. You can see Sloan is pretty decent there as well, second and second on the grass form, but other than that, then the grass form goes a bit way off with the bat figures again. So 2 and 7 in that race for me, with the 4 as backup. And in the last race, again, Sharon Kotzen and Luke Mokotwa as Hey Boy, and 4 to 1 is a decent price for it, I think. It does have a 27% chance to win on greenie points and 27 on form. So my first choice there with Time Stands Still, a nice 14-to-1 shot with the best bat figures on 42 days, 84 days, and 168 days, and exact course and distance as my second choice, 14-to-1. And then Wangan Midnight, Tara Lang, as my third choice, being gelded and coming from a bit of a rest with 20% on the stat form 3, 2, and 10. My fourth choice is Chainsaw, the other Tara Lang runner, with Mini as the favorite. So interesting that Wangan Midnight is the better one of the two for our ratings. Eurostorm is the fifth choice for me. Mount Everest, The Carpenter, and Love Potion. But I must say again, it looks quite difficult, guys. So, bit of caution advised. Wait for another day. There's not too many opportunities there. And it does look like Sharon Kotzen might be our best opportunity today. Have a great day.